are tuned in to the NUC NFL Draft Bible Players Spotlight Show.
Welcome to the NUC NFL Draft Bible Players Spotlight Show presented by the College Gridiron Showcase and Symposium. We have already geared up for the 2017 College Gridiron Showcase. We recently dropped our watch list, which can be viewed at NFLDraftBible.com and or CGSAllstar.com. And, of course, it's not too late to nominate players either, so go ahead and check out those websites. The 2017 College Gridiron Showcase kicks off on January 7th and goes on through January 11th in Bedford, Texas. As always, I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, and it's a pleasure to welcome onto the show this evening Tyson Graham Jr. out of the University of South Dakota, one of the top safeties in all of the FCS, getting ready for a big senior season. How's it going, Tyson?
How's it going? First of all, I want to say thank you, Christian, for having me on the show. It's an honor.
Hey, man, the pleasure is all mine. Of course, we've been connected for a little while now, and I've been really looking forward to chatting with you. Again, like I said, I mean, one of the top safeties in all of the FCS. You're getting ready for your senior season. We are 11 Saturdays away from the start of the college football season. Let the countdown begin. Your guys' first game will be September 1st at New Mexico. Tyson, take us through what you've been doing in the offseason to better your game and make sure you're ready by the time the season opener rolls around.
Sure. So immediately after school, I ended up going back home to South Florida and training with one of the best trainers back at home. Actually, I would say one of the best trainers, and all around in training college athletes and professional athletes, Tony Villani. He's just kind of, been preparing me to get my speed and everything, coming out of my breaks quicker. And I recently just came back up to school to start workouts with the team and build that chemistry and get that bond going. And every morning we've just been at it, 5 o'clock in the morning, running, and 9 o'clock lifting in the morning, and then 7-on-7 and meetings. So we're kind of just, trying to get the ball rolling and kind of get that head start. So we'll be ready come September 1st because it's going to come very fast.
No doubt about it. And, Tony Villani, one of the top trainers out there without a doubt. Is there a specific part of your game that you've been working on to improve for this senior season of yours?
I would say, getting out of my breaks much quicker so I could be able to come downhill or, drop down in coverage. So that's something that I want to definitely improve on to help me, play much faster and be able to trigger. As well as just working on critiquing, my man coverage. You can always get better at that. So that's something that I've always, tried to work on this offseason and carry that over to the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always, things to get better at. You're never perfect. And, of course, you certainly you're certainly working on, perfecting your craft, perfecting your skill. And just taking a look at what the team has done there since you've been at the University of South Dakota, Tyson. I mean, it looks like it's been a little bit of a tough go overall. Your first year in 2012, which was your redshirt year, you guys finished 1-10. In 2013, you guys were 4-8. 2014, you guys fell 2-10, and then last season you guys were 5-6, one game under 500. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough to retain the head coach. Joe Glenn and his staff as South Dakota went on to go into a different direction. You guys now have a former Western Illinois head coach, the reigning Missouri Valley Coach of the Year, Bob Nielsen, as your new head coach. Is there newfound energy or excitement with the coaching change?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely, some newfound energy. The guys, we're just out here, trying to come in. We have to learn a new system. So the coaches have been really good on that, helping us, slowly pick up things and, trying to get the ball rolling and get things ready. But there's much excitement about, the new coaching staff, trying to also create, a new culture going into this season. So, the focus level has been tremendous, and we're just kind of ready to get things rolling and, go in a new direction. Hopefully, improve just like we've been doing each and every year, because Missouri Valley, I would say that's the toughest conference in, FCS. if not probably one of the. I would say that's the sixth best conference in all college football. So anything can happen in Missouri Valley. It's not easy at all.
No, you know what? I echo those sentiments. I mean, I would go as far as saying hands down the Missouri Valley is the toughest conference in all of the FCS. Now, you mentioned, this is going to be a different defense. From your position, playing strong safety, I mean, exactly how different are we talking? I mean, is this right now, is this kind of tough for you to transition into this new defense that you guys are going to be running?
It's not a big adjustment, I would say. I think this year we'll be, we run just a little bit more zone. That's probably one of the biggest adjustments from last year. We kind of ran a little bit more man, but it won't be too much of a big adjustment on me. Like I said, also one of the main things was just kind of being able to learn that playbook pretty quickly, especially in spring ball. So that's something that the coaches kind of made sure that we took our baby steps to make sure we learn everything fast, and we'll be able to play fast come September.
And, of course, learning things on the fly isn't any new to you, Tyson. You came into South Dakota as a wide receiver, and, here you are now a few years later playing at a very high level on the defensive side of the ball. Now, from some of the research that I've done, it seems as if that your now former defensive coordinator, Jason Petrino, had a pretty big impact on your football career. If I'm not mistaken, he is the one that kind of had his fingerprints on you moving to safety at the collegiate level. Again, you entered South Dakota as a wide receiver. Quickly, if you could, talk about the relationship you had with your former defensive coordinator, Coach Petrino, and exactly how much of an impact has he had on you?
Coach Petrino has had a huge impact on me, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And not just that in football related, but just in life. He's a very positive guy, always there. But just like as you said, he kind of always had his finger on me coming to the defensive side of the ball. And, after my redshirt freshman year, he just kind of – there was kind of this transition that I was going through. And he kind of just took me under his wings and, brought me over to the defensive side. And, he told me it wasn't going to be easy, which I believed, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And he just slowly worked with me. And, once that my first season playing on the defensive side, things started kind of rough. I had to get used to, instead of running routes, I'm backpedaling now. So I kind of got to get it's a different mindset playing on defense. But after those first few games, after that Oregon game, I would say that things kind of took off from there. And he just had such a positive impact, providing, with those encouraging words, when you're down. He's just overall a great guy to be around. Very, very smart, especially with the game. And that's someone who I'll probably have a connection with forever.
And whenever you could have a coach or really anybody that could have that kind of impact on you, not only on the football field but off of it as well, is always great to hear. It's always great to hear those kind of stories and relationships and how they're made. Again, he's Tyson Graham Jr., the University of South Dakota safety, joining me here on the NUC NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show presented by the College Gridiron Showcase. And Tyson, for a little while now, you guys have been opening up the season against some big-time teams. A couple of years ago, you guys were able to go up against Marcus Mariota and the Oregon Ducks. Last season, it was Kansas State. And now this season, you guys open up against New Mexico. Some very talented FBS programs, without a doubt. But let's focus on the Missouri Valley Football Conference, which we kind of already touched on just a minute ago. Again, in my opinion, the MVFC is undoubtedly the toughest conference in all the FCS. There really isn't an opponent in the conference that you can take lightly, is there?
Oh, no, not at all. Just like you said, it's the toughest, hands down. On any given Sunday, anything can happen. Anyone's liable to come out with a W on top. You really can't underestimate anyone, because there's always there could be an upset at any moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? I know they're two totally different states, South Dakota and North Dakota, but I have to ask you, how aggravating has it been seeing all the success that North Dakota State has had over the last 5 years, winning the last 5 FCS national champions?
It's very aggravating, at this point, you're like, okay, it's time for someone else to take the reins from here. Kudos up to them. They have a great program, with the staff and everything like that, especially when it 5 straight. That's never easy. But it's time for, it's time for a change. Hopefully this year we can get the ball rolling and hopefully be on top this year.
Yeah, it's time for the South to take over, man. It's time for the South to take over now. Of course, Tyson, last season you tallied 71 tackles and a career high, 4 interceptions. From the film that I was able to get my hands on and watch, I mean, not only are you able to impact the passing game with your ball hawking abilities, but your run stopping ability is equally as impressive, in my opinion. I mean, certainly really caught my eye the way you're, very versatile and able to impact the defensive side of the ball, and again, both the running and passing game. Again, you're entering your final season at South Dakota, your senior year. I got to think you want to make it, go out with a bang. What exactly are your goals and expectations that you have for not only yourself but your team as a whole this fall?
My number one goal, especially going into my senior year, is to win a conference championship. I feel as though I want to leave this program in better hands than from when I came in. I would like to win a conference championship and then be able to, make the playoffs. And hopefully I'll be playing in January and, not back at home. Those are my main goals. And, I'll kind of put my individual achievements or accolades, behind my team. Next would, of course, be All-American and, try to hopefully get, 6 interceptions. Just be that great, impact player on the defensive side of the ball, to help, get the ball back from offense and put points on the board and everything like that. And then hopefully be able to get an invite to the combine, at the end of the season and try to receive a bowl invitation and such like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly some big expectations, to say the least, especially coming from a smaller program like South Dakota, but certainly reachable, especially with the talent that you've already shown and the talent that you've already displayed. Now let me ask you, I mean, a lot of guys, they always say, I want to be conference champion. I want to win the FCS national championship. I know you haven't really been around the new coaching staff too much so far, the team with all the turnover and whatnot. But do you believe that, a postseason, the postseason could be in your guys' future this season? I mean, I know nobody goes to the season thinking otherwise, but, talent-wise, I mean, I know that there's a lot of turnover. I mean, looking at the defensive line alone, I know that you guys lost Iddings and Van Ginkel. Ginkel, of course, transferring. Iddings went on to the NFL. I mean, that right there is a ton of lost production there on the defensive line. Who else can we expect on that South Dakota defense to step up?
Well, first off, the coaching staff, the new coaching staff, have done a great job at coming in, recruiting and bringing some great guys here to add to the team who I think will help benefit this team tremendously, and who could, even though they're freshmen, could come in and step in right away and help make an impact on the field. We've just been buying into their system and their program, everything they have to offer to the program, and I do believe that we'll have a chance to make the playoffs this year. Once everyone gets on the same page and we're all playing together as a unit, that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing this year. But on the defensive side of the ball, you should also have an eye on Jacob Warner, my partner in crime, the free safety, as well as I would have to say Adam Harris, one of the corners, and John Wessel. Those guys they have great IQ and some great athletes. Adam Harris being a junior corner, the big corner, about 6 foot, I would say maybe, but he's ripped. He looks like a linebacker. And John Wessel is probably one of the smartest linebackers I've ever been around. The way he just diagnoses plays very, very quickly. It's pretty exciting, to have him on your same team as you, someone who's making all the calls and stuff like that. And then you got Jacob Warner out there, the other safety, who's he's very athletic, very physical, just like me. He'll come down and hit you. He's not afraid of contact at all. He's very, very, good in pass coverage. He's a ball hog. That's he's definitely a sleeper who most scouts are sleeping on. And there's also a few redshirt freshmen, Danny Rambo and Dale Williamson. Those are some guys you guys can watch on as well.
Yeah, I'll certainly be writing these names down now. One last thing before we let you go, Tyson. I hear a lot of people, it sounds as if there's a rumor out there that you have a nickname, 50 Tyson. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, can we get you to spit any? Can we get you to spit any bars on the air real quick?
Unfortunately, I don't even know how to rap like that. That nickname, man, that came from actually one of my teammates last year. They came out with it in the weight room. Had something to do with the artist who was in Minnesota. My name's Tyson, so they just threw the 50 in front of it, and everyone calls me that now. Even the the strength conditioning coach, Coach Bowman, even calls me that when he's assigning racks and stuff like that. It's just crazy. It's a cool nickname, though. I accept it.
Yeah, man. If you accept it, man. If you accept it, we gotta get that jersey number changed.
It'll be tough out there playing with number 50 at safety.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, well, Tyson, it's really been a great pleasure chatting with you again. We're only 11 Saturdays away from the start of the college football season. Again, we really appreciate you checking in tonight, and certainly wishing you all the best this coming season. And hopefully we could have you on again at some point during this season. Any final words before we let you go?
No, sir. I just want to thank you for the opportunity once again. It's an honor.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been a pleasure. Once again, thank you, and best of luck, man.
Thank you, Christian.
There he goes. That's Tyson Graham Jr., again, the standout safety out of the University of South Dakota. A very versatile 6'2", 210-pound physical defensive back that you guys out there really need to keep an eye out on this coming season. And, again, with that said, special thanks to 50 Tyson Graham, that is, for calling in this evening. As always, I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, for the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com.